Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenna, but you guys can call me Jen, and welcome to another video. I am so excited about this video because it is a video that kind of goes with my series that I don't want to finish, because it is my series I do want to finish. And I'm very excited about this one because I have so many that I want to finish. And I just remembered like two more as I was like walking back with my stack of books. I was like, oh, there's two more that I want to finish. But like, there's a million out there, right? There's always so many. So the very first one I'm going to mention is one that I just started last week because I did my Rick Riordan read through of all the old Percy Jackson books. I did a reread of the first four, and then I finally read the last one because I never got to it when I was younger. But if you want to go check out that video, I will put it up here on the screen somewhere, and I will link it down in the down bar. But I'm very happy with that video. It's great. But then, because I wanted to continue with the Rick Riordan train, I started the Heroes of Olympus series. And so this is my first series that I'm going to mention that I want to finish because I adore this world so much. And I'm so intrigued to see where this storyline, this new story, is going to go, because I have a feeling that it's going to be a lot richer than the Percy Jackson one was, even if it's a little different and a different style and not from Percy's point of view. I'm still really excited to get to it and excited to finish it. So I've so far just read The Lost Hero, but I have The Son of Neptune on my radar, which I'm hoping to pick up sometime this week, maybe next week, I'm not sure, but I'm going to pick it up very soon, and I'm so excited to keep going with it, with the Mark of Athena and the House of Hades and all of that. So series number 2 that I'm so excited to keep going with is one that I can't really keep going with until I get the next book in the mail, because it's not released yet, hasn't been published yet, but it's coming, and it's coming sometime this October, I do believe. I will put the date on the screen if I can remember, but it is the Brandon Sanderson Skyward trilogy. I am ridiculously in love with this book. So Skyward is about this girl named Spensa who lives with her, with all these humans on this planet, and they are being attacked on the daily by this alien race. And the people that they have on their planet that fight these people are called pilots, and Spence's dream is to become a pilot like her dad was, but everyone in her world doesn't want her to be a pilot because her dad was a coward, and that is like the worst thing you can be, and he fled during a fight, which he ended up dying in because he fled, and so they won't let her in, but she ends up getting into flight school anyways because she fights super hard for it, and then she finds something in this cave that's like super that no one else has seen before, and it's just such a fantastic read, and I'm so excited to see where this goes, because something happens at the end of this book that opens up the world a lot more, and things are found out, and I am so intrigued to see where Spence's world goes. And plus, Brandon Sanderson, epic writer. His world building is one of my favorites ever, and I've only ever read this book by him, and I've gone and purchased the entire Mistborn series and Way of King and the next trilogy in the Mistborn series because I just adore his writing. I haven't gotten to them yet, but this one I'm so excited to keep going with. The next is a trilogy that I probably should have been finished by now, but I just keep putting them off for some reason. I don't know. Don't ask me. I have no idea. But that is the Darker Shade of Magic series. So I have now read this book twice with the purpose of reading the rest of them, and I still just haven't. Why? I don't know. This is what I do. I pick up a series, and then I buy the full series, and then I read the first book, and I'm like, I'm gonna go right into the second book, and then I don't. And then I forget what happens, so I have to reread the first one, and then I still don't read the next two. But that's fine, because I want to, and I'm going to make myself read them. I swear. But yes, so this is about a world with 4 different Londons. We have Grey London, which is the London that we know in our world, and then there is Red London, which is a very magical London, and then there's White London, which is a magical London that is dying, and then there's Black London, which has been shut off from the rest of the Londons because magic consumed it. And we follow this guy named Kel. He's on the cover, and he is a Antari. Is that how you say it? Sure. Antari. He's one of the last two living at this point that they know of, and he's the only one who can go between the Londons. So like one of my favorite descriptions of the Londons is that they are like sheets of paper lined up next to each other, so they're not all in the same world. They're in like different kind of like world dimensions. They're just like lined up from like sheets of paper, one after the other. I don't know, that's a great description to me. But he can go between the Londons, and he does. He acts like as a messenger for the courts, and he lives at the court in Red London. That's his London, and he has been like adopted into the family, even though he doesn't know who he is. His memories of his past life have been wiped. But and then he meets like a girl in Grey London named Lila Bard, and they go on an adventure to save the world basically from this magic, and then I don't know where it goes from here because I haven't read any of the further ones, but I want to. That's why this is in this video. I want to. The next series is one that I am anxiously waiting the last book in. I keep following the author on Instagram, just being like, where is the next one? When are we gonna get the title? When are we gonna get the cover release? When are we gonna get an actual publishing date? And we haven't yet, but I know she's working on it, and I'm so excited about it. But it is the fourth book in the Ember and the Ashes series. I am so excited about this book. Last summer I picked these up and I finished them all, the ones that were out. So A Torch Against the Night and A Reaper at the Gates. I finished them in like one after the other because I just couldn't help myself. I was devouring these books because they're so good. Like absolutely ridiculously good, and I love. So it is set in a world that is kind of Romanesque. So there's like an empire, and then there's like real harsh separation between the normal people and then like the empire people. And so it follows Laia, who is a girl of the regular people, and she loses her mom and her dad a long time ago, and then at the beginning of the book her brother gets arrested for something that he shouldn't be arrested for, so she wants to save him basically. And then it also follows Elias. This book specifically follows Elias and Laia, and Elias is a mask who is a trained warrior for the empire, and he wants to not be a part of it, and then they team up and do things. And this is one of the only book series that I know of that has books in it that have like negative arcs. Like by the beginning of the book to the end of the book, they're in a worse situation than they were at the beginning, and it just keeps getting more and more dire for these characters, and I'm so concerned for them all. In the fourth book, you have no idea. But these books are just fabulous, and I'm still so excited. Will scream the day that we get a title for the fourth book, and like a color scheme, because they all have different color schemes. Like this is red, and then there's blue, and then there's green, and I'm very excited to see what the next one is. But yes, this is a series I'm so excited about. This one is a little bit unconventional because I don't really mention them a lot on my channel. I mean, I have been in the past this summer because I was reading the first two in reading vlogs, but because they're so beefy, they take me so long. It's just what a thing. But I really want to finish a series because I just really love this series deeply in my heart, and that is Game of Thrones. So I read this first back in high school, and I read the first book and I really loved it, and then I tried to read the second book and I couldn't get through it. So then I reread the first book a while later, and then again this summer I reread the first book so I could keep going and reread the second one and then keep going in the series. So I am now on number 3. I haven't quite started number 3 yet, but I will this fall sometime because I really want to keep going with the series, and I want to really understand the world. And I also really want to watch the TV show, but I have this thing where I need to read the books before I watch the movie or the TV show of it, just to like know the story really well, and usually the book is better. So I am intrigued by this world, and I'm actually really intrigued to see, because I've now watched like all of season 1 and most of season 2 to see how it differs from the books. But most of season 1 of the show follows the first book really, really well. So it's really good. I adore these series, and I need to know, like, I know what happens at the end because I was on the internet when the last season aired and like you couldn't escape the spoilers, but I just want to read up to where George R.R. Martin has everything released and then jump on the bandwagon of just begging him to release the last book, because he still hasn't. Has he even announced one yet? Like, homie, where's the ending of your series? Anyways, I'm excited about this. The next two I'm going to mention are books that well, one of them, this one, is a book that I have been, I don't know, avoiding, kind of. I avoided it for a long time. And I decided to pick it up when the third book, the last book in the trilogy, was released last year, and then I really enjoyed it, and it rekindled my love for this world. But it's a struggle because I do really want to finish this trilogy. I just don't know how many more books from this author I'm going to read because I'm kind of tired of the world, just in general. I know she is releasing a trilogy in, like, kind of that goes along with my favorite trilogy of all time by her, and that I'm excited about and I probably will read. But other than that, I'm kind of done with her books a little bit, but that's besides the point. That's a different video for a different day. But that is the Lady Midnight, what is this? The Dark Artifices trilogy. I really want to finish this. I have only read the first one in this trilogy so far, but I really enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as much as the original 6 books, and then obviously the Clockwork Angel trilogy. I'm like pointing at my other bookshelves, are over there. But still really enjoyed being in this world. I'm not as big of a fan of these characters as I am of the original ones, but I have to know what happens because now I'm into it and I need to know. So this is another series that I do want to finish. And then the last one that I'm going to talk about today, even though there are so many more that I just keep seeing around my library now, but that is Eragon. So I read this for the very, very first time in July. Yeah, July. And I adored it. This has the same vibe to me as Lord of the Rings. It has elves and dragons and incredible world building, and it's just such an amazing story, and I love the idea of like dragons and dragon riders so much. I didn't realize how much I love dragons in literature until I read Priory of the Orange Tree and then this baby, and I love this book so much. So it follows a boy named Eragon, and he is kind of on the poor side, and he lives in this village with his uncle and his cousin because his mom died when he was very young and he was left orphaned, so he lives with them. And one day he's out hunting in the Spine, which is this like mountain range that is near their village that nobody ever goes into, but he's like, why? It's fine. And when he's in the Spine, he finds this big blue rock, and he's like, I wonder what I could get for this rock. It looks beautiful. And he takes it and he tries to sell it, but no one will take it because it's like this beautiful piece of like ornamentry, right? Like no one's gonna buy like an ornament for their house basically, which is what it would be like. And then one day these people from like the government, this empire who like is like really oppressive and whatever, come in and like destroy his farm and all this stuff. And then, but before that, Saphira hatches and becomes Eragon's dragon, and I would kill for Saphira. She is one of my favorite characters of all time, and she's a dragon. Like, she's got so much spunk and sass to her. I just love her. I love her so much. And like the most amazing thing about this series is that Christopher Paolini was 15 when he started writing it, and it feels honestly like such a seasoned writer wrote this. It is so beautifully written. And I know it's technically middle grade, but like I find it too old for middle grade now. I would put it more as like young adult or even like almost high fantasy, especially as the books get bigger and more intense as they go on. But I have read this one and I'm almost done Eldest, and I really, really want to keep reading this series. It's so beautiful. And I adore this world an inordinate amount. So much. Anyways guys, that's it from me today. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. Let me know down below if there are any series that you want to finish and that you really love and you really recommend, because I'm always on the hunt for more books to add to my TBR, even though my TBR is ridiculously huge. Be sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that little bell icon so you know when I upload. I upload at least twice a week with a reading vlog or a vlog of some kind, and then a main channel video. Occasionally I do writing videos as well because I want to be a writer, so why not? But yeah, I'll catch you in another video soon. Stay kind and keep on reading. Bye!